lot of speed. A lot of speed. Some pretty awesome cars.
This will be my 18th year racing. One of the things I've always tried to do is watch what's next. What's the next thing?
It's pretty impressive. Looking forward to hearing it, seeing it.
I knew that electric was the future, really. It makes perfect sense for the mountain. You're talking about a 5,000 foot elevation change, and for a gas-powered engine, that's a problem.
This is the 92nd running of the Pikes Peak International Hill Climb. It's the morning of the race. This is Sunday morning.
Jeff Clark, who's racing this motorcycle, he's actually defending electric motorcycle class champion here.
We won in 10, 11 in the EV class, and we set the record in that year.
The bike actually started off as a 2013 Zero FX, which is a very capable bike. We've done a supermoto conversion to it.
This is a car that we actually ran last year. We've made some improvements on it overall, but it's an electric car, it's all-wheel drive, and it's probably one of the fastest cars I've ever driven.
This is the ultimate proving ground, Race to the Clouds. It is a very extreme, strenuous race. 156 turns, 5,000 vertical feet. It's only 12.5 miles, but it's incredible how much the bike and the rider is going through in that short distance.
This is the new Penrose Heritage Museum. Spencer Penrose started the Pikes Peak Hill Climb in 1916. Behind me is the ER2, and that's my 2002 Pikes Peak Electric. That was kind of a breakthrough lithium-ion polymer battery car. We just barely broke the record, and it was a shot heard around the world.
The Southern Colorado Clean Cities Coalition for 2 years now has sponsored the electric vehicle class in the Pikes Peak International Hill Climb, which is a great opportunity for us to be able to get the word out about alternative fuels to the public and talk about electric vehicle technology specifically.
It's like an earth car, so it's good for the earth environment, so we're going to use EV.
With an electric bike, you have no clutch, no shifting. It's got peak torque right off the line. It's just twist and go.
The batteries are unbelievable. The amount of power they store is incredible.
The power is not affected by the air. Living in high mountain, lower, the same power, and also no emission. That's good for the environment.
You don't have that loud exhaust, hot engine. It's really a totally new experience.
But it's pretty fantastic that we're already this far ahead of the curve. And then in 2014, we have the chance of being the overall fastest car in something that's 100% electric.
And it's a really great demonstration of the technology that Mitsubishi and other teams are building that will eventually show up in the consumer products.
Pikes Peak's a valuable tool for innovation. I can take an idea with Pikes Peak and showcase it to the world.
Maybe a little sound as they go by or something like that. I'm not sure what the electrics are going to sound like.
Electric cars are running second, third, and fourth overall in the qualifying going in. So we're optimistic that actually an electric car can win today.
It's going to be pretty simple to beat last year's record, and we're going to take it to the next level here and see how many more gas bikes we can beat.
Maybe in a few years, the EV car will beat the normal car.
Electric vehicles are obviously a more sustainable, greener type of technology. They are zero-emission vehicles, much better for the planet.
The 2016 AIA Colorado Honor Awards.
Leadership.
Achievement.
Innovation.
And innovation. Everything around you in the built environment was touched by an architect. The thought, the caring, the integration into the community, trying to make the community better, architects are involved in it all.
I think Colorado architects are contributing to across the board sustainability, advocacy, and really starting to push the envelope.
AIA Colorado is the American Institute of Architects Colorado chapter. We have about 2,500 members throughout Colorado.
It's the engine behind the architects of the state.
During my 20 years experience in state government, I have noticed that the Colorado chapter of the AIA has continuously been before the legislature, promoting and supporting issues of great importance to the practice of architecture and the environment. The AIA definitely has the profession's back.
The AIA Colorado Honor Awards celebrate the best that we can do.
This year's submissions instill a sense of pride in our past accomplishments, and they also offer hope for the things that will come.
It's very evident that to be a successful architect, to rise to the top, that you have to be willing to work as a team member, to work collaboratively, to achieve great goals within the Colorado built environment.
This year's Leadership Award winner is very impressive in terms of not only the service to the profession, but the effort and the way the person has integrated into community, into AIA, truly leading at a very young age.
The Innovative Practices Award celebrates achievement from a group of individuals who challenge the way we think about what architects do, and in many ways are blazing or pioneering a new path that may lead to a change in opportunity for others.
The 2016 Young Architect of the Year really demonstrated a long-term commitment to a large number of significant projects here in the state. What we appreciated the most was a demonstration through the submittal of the individuals' contributions. And though these are hand-drawn sketches, models, we really understood how this architect had contributed to each of these projects.
Architecture can be trendy, it can be fashionable, but the best is timeless. The 25-year award celebrates architecture that has endured. The history of Colorado is about exploration, settlement, and living with the natural environment. This year's recipient of the 25-year award has developed an architecture that is sort of penultimately Colorado.
We started 50 years ago with maybe the first few buildings, and we've grown exponentially since then over the last 50 years. One amazing part or paradigm of the space is that we have kept a lot of the historical buildings while continuing to build new buildings. We really have been very respectful of our roots.
There's a number of wonderful submissions, but the submission we ultimately chose really respects a long legacy of work being done in Colorado, respecting historic character of buildings, and finds an adaptive reuse for these structures.
We've made a concerted effort to make sure that the facilities were functional, were simple, were merged into part of nature.
One of the things I've noticed is regardless of whether or not the function or the use of the building has changed, the building would have its own particular soul. It would have a certain iconic value, and like old architects, it would be able to persevere through time.
Here, I feel like we got it really right. You're here to make art. You're here to focus on the creation of art, and the surroundings really help you focus just on the art because they're so simple, they're so functional. They blend into the background. I think it really helps you focus on what you're here to do. So I think we sit in the perfect place for the next 50 years.
Dedication.
Dedication.
Influence.
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 The honor awards are meant to truly recognize the best in Colorado architecture. It's the people, it's the practices, it's the way they do their practice, it's the final result in the form of the buildings, and then the longevity of the buildings.
The submissions were so close that the jury spent a lot of time exploring nuances of the submissions, because for awards of this caliber, every word matters, every image matters.
We'll do our best to continually tell that story in front of not only their colleagues here in Colorado, but to help share that story in front of the public as a whole. And so you're creating a legacy for yourself and for those that you nominate.
Absolutely, it gives me hope. And I'm very proud to be part of it.